Well, it's getting really close to hauling the boat out of the water. So today I am going to change the coolant on the engine, and tomorrow I'll perhaps change the oil. Because of time issues, I don't have time for both, but the engine had been sitting with some bad stuff in it before I bought it, and it's a bit corroded inside. Not too bad, but still there is some corrosion, and that has colored the coolant on the engine. So we're gonna replace it with some fresh water and run it for a bit, and then we're gonna put some new antifreeze in the engine. And in the near future, after the boat has gone out of the water, I'm going to take off the cylinder head, because I need to replace the cylinder head gasket because it leaks a bit of coolant out of the engine through between the cylinder head and the engine block. So that needs to be done, and also I need to change the gaskets on the pre-chamber on cylinder number 1, the one closest to the flywheel on this engine. And yeah, so there's going to be a bit of engine work this winter. And also I'm going to take apart the sail drive, replace the seals on the prop shaft, and I'm going to replace the seals between the sail drive and the hull. So that's coming up. So that's the projects for this winter. And in the spring I'm going to do some glass work in the aft cabin. I'm going to relocate the fuel tank. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of planning. So yeah, we'll get to get started on this coolant business stuff. And the first thing to do is to remove the radiator cap. The engine it's not really hot. It's actually nice to it's about, yes, 30-40 degrees Celsius. As you can see, this looks a bit rusty, and that's not ideal. So let's put the cap over here, and then we're going to put some light down here, and hopefully this doesn't freak out the camera. Oh, it doesn't. So I found a canister to collect the coolant in. Put the hose inside, and this little tap here is the drain for the engine. So I just open that up. We're going to see coolant coming out. See all of this stuff down here? That is coolant that's run down from the cylinder. It has stopped after a while, but I want to replace the cylinder head gasket anyway. So this is a good opportunity. Now you can see it's draining nicely into the bucket, and it's really not very nice. I'll put an old towel down in the bottom of the engine bay because there is a bit of coolant dripping out when you do this, so I can collect whatever I spill. Just tighten the screw a little bit more, and might contain it, but that also might affect the flow. So this is the drain for the engine itself, and we also have to drain the heat exchanger. So I'll put some light down in the heat exchanger just to have a look. See, there is a bit of gunk on this aluminium pipe, so ideally I should flush it out with pressurized water, but I'm not going to do that now. We're just going to put some clean water in and run it for a bit and drain that out. So yeah, hopefully that takes care of most of it, because when I take the cylinder head off I need to move the heat exchanger again as well, so that's life. But everything has just been apart, so it should be easy to take it back off and put it back together. So it is still pouring out with coolant here, so I'm just going to keep on till the canister is all full. I have to find another one. Yeah, that's really good. One full container. So that was this side of the engine. And this is really bad. This is, yeah, it's not good at all. It was brand new coolant when I put it back together 6 months ago. The engine has been running for about 80 hours or something. So yeah, I'll just find another canister and we're gonna drain the heat exchanger. Here you can see it's the same kind of tap as there was on the other side. I must have forgotten to put on this hose, but that does not really matter. I don't think there is much to drain from this anyway. And put the canister onto the tap like so. And we just open it. And here a little bit of gunk is coming out, but that was not much. So, okay, if I move the now it is draining some more. So when this is done, we're gonna fill it up with some good clean water without any antifreeze in it. I'm just gonna run it to try to get some of the slag inside of the engine to get suspended in the fluid and drain it out. I perhaps will have to do that 1 or 2 times. I also put some stuff in this coolant to try and clog up the leaks from the cylinder head gasket. That could be the cause of this color, but I would be surprised if it was. Didn't have that color, the stuff that I put in. But of course it could change when it gets hot. So yeah, we'll just have to see. So I'll just keep draining until it's empty and I'll show you the amount afterwards. This is the coolant that came out of the engine. I've been using it every day for the entire summer, back and forth to the mainland many times a day. So it is looks manky, but it's not caused any problems. So we'll see. We'll put some clean water in, run it for a few minutes and drain it again. So I'm not gonna film that, I'm just gonna show you what came out next time. Now the heat exchanger has been filled up, so the engine should be full of clean water. So I'll just run it for some minutes and yeah, I'll drain everything in again. This is the catch of the second draining of the engine. I ran it for 10 minutes and I left it to cool down for a bit. So now I'm gonna leave it a little bit longer. I'm gonna start pouring in some new clean water really slowly, because now the engine is rather hot, so I don't want to risk cracking the engine block. So that's, you should never put cold water on a warm engine, especially if it's cast iron, and it will just crack. Just one big bang and it cracks, because when you put cold water in, it gets really cold in one area and it has a lot of heat in the rest of the material, and yeah, it can't cope with the stress, so it cracks.